All right. Oh man, oh man, oh man. We got some business to take care of. We got some stuff to handle. I think I got you updated on some of this stuff. It's starting to be mind-boggling. But let me get this intro going so we can kind of get right into things. For real this time. For real. I don't think we have anything that's gonna throw us off, but let's get into it. What up, though, people? It is your boy Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid. As you know, Mr. Jeff Iafredi is replaced by a water bottle today. He is already on the Morning Woodward show. We are going to go live today. By the time you see this, we would have already gone live and probably ripped out the last few remaining bits of my hair. Oh, trying to deal with national media and some pundits out there. Our guy Cade Cunningham. But I want to welcome in the legend today. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. Hey, yo, shout out and welcome to the legend Detroit News Rod Beard. Bro, let's just get right into it today. Out of all the things you could do, and you see I got the hat on forward today. This is the first time since the season started on the show. I had to. You see the fit, the Cade Crusader shirt. I had to. Out of all the things you could pick on, bro. With Detroit, the actual city, the team, the Pistons. I mean, they've given a lot of reasons, right? Cade Cunningham?
Let me tell you this.
Cade,
people need content, and sometimes you just fill content with stuff, with things that are things. It's words. You got content. You did your stuff for the day. You can punch out at the end of the night and feel like you accomplished a goal somewhere. Yeah, that's all I got. That's the best I can do.
Let me get into this. I'm over here. I'm seething, Rod. I'm seething. I'm over here. This kind of threw me off a little bit more than I really wanted it to. I was like, hey, we're gonna come on here and we're gonna handle this professionally. I'm sitting here trying to smile. It's like that meme where the guy is like got that smile mask on, but behind he's like
ready to go,
human, bro.
Ready to go.
Crazy. Look, no, I mean, let me read the tweet first. Let me pull it up first, just so the context is there. If you don't know, there's just been a lot of different weird articles that's come out, weird videos that's come out. The chief of them right now is FanDuel doing this redraft, doing a redraft. And look, man, they're, oh my gosh darn it, man. I can't believe I'm letting this bother me. Cade Cunningham goes third to the
No, you got to do the order. You got to do the order.
Let me do the order. Number 1, Detroit Pistons select Evan Mobley.
That's not terrible. That's not
terrible.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really bark at that one. I can understand why people would make certain cases. Number 2 to the Rockets. Come on, man. Franz Wagner. Come on.
I mean,
you gotta let me say the name first. And I go blue, bro. You don't understand. Like, I love you, but come on. Come on, bro. Number 3. Above Cade Cunningham. I mean, I'm sorry. See, I'm number 3 to the Cavs. Cade Cunningham. Below Franz Wagner, man. What?
Okay,
bro,
number 4.
No. The kicker, bro. Number 4 to the Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes, the rookie of the year.
All good. We're all good here. We're all good here.
Poor Jalen Green, man.
Tell him where Jalen Green is. Tell him where Jalen Green is.
Number 5. Magic.
Number 5.
Rod, you're gonna have to help me out here. I had a whole look. I gotta let the people know. I had a monologue, man. I had a whole monologue, and this just kind of threw me off. This is really threw me off, Rod. You gotta take over. Right?
Tell me who is ridiculously,
I got the monologue, man.
So the rest of this top 10, Josh Giddey at 6, that's embarrassing. Alperen Sengun at 7, Herb Jones at 8, Trey Murphy at 9, and Quentin Grimes at 10. Tell me you just started watching basketball yesterday without telling me you started watching basketball yesterday. What the heck? What is that? There is no mention, none, of a dude named Jonathan Kuminga. They just completely left him off of their top 10. Completely.
Sheesh.
And decided you wanted to put Herb Jones at number 8. Even if you put Ayo Dosunmu at in that top 10, you would convince me that you have watched some basketball, or Kessler Edwards. You could convince me that you would watch. There's always, when you have these redrafts, this is like the top 10 hip hop list of all time, when there's somebody that's conspicuously missing from a list, or you just have ridiculous spots. Josh Giddey at 6 is just as bad as Cade at 3.
Bro, all right. I think
we're gonna focus on Cade, but Josh Giddey at 6 is just as bad, because it means you're not watching basketball. And Franz at 2 is a choice. That's a choice that people make. But
come on.
I'll say it this way. I am not a big consumer of FanDuel's content. They are in the business of taking people's money or allowing people to lose their money.
Oh man, bro. I'm and it's not listen.
That's all.
Would you say cut out just a little bit there at the end?
That's all I can give you. Is they're not content people. So this list could have been done by, this is a bot. A bot actually put together this thing. They did the AI thing and said, hey, come up with content and come up with a top 10 redraft and spit something out. And this is what the bot spit out.
Yeah, so it's not, technology's not ready to take over yet. It's not ready for the driver's seat like Cade Cunningham is. This
is not what computers are designed for. This is when you take a hammer to your computer and say, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. This is almost a randomized drawing after you said Evan Mobley. I get it. You can say Evan at 1. That's fine. But everything after that feels very random.
My thing is this. My thing is like that list just in general. When I looked at it, the first thing that stuck out to me was, and this was weird. I was upset about the Cade Cunningham thing, and I was like, all right, that's my fire. But I was like, Scotty Barnes, seriously? He's down at 4 still? Like, that's where people, I don't know if it's as fit. I don't know what their overall criteria was, but it just didn't make any sense, man. No sense at all. And it was just like, I told myself, all right, we're going to come on here and just have some fun with it. We'll just kind of kick it around. And instantly, Ashton, the trainer, shout out to Ashton, NBA trainer, helped, he trained Cade Cunningham, trained Cade's brother, Cannon. He's trained other people too. I saw his picture with RJ Hampton and Cade the other day came out. When they announced that the Pistons signed RJ Hampton. He said it in the beginning. He said, I thought that you guys were overdoing it. I thought that the Detroit verse everything was just a brand. I thought that, no, these guys, they are getting the attention that they deserve, until he said he got here. Literally after it started to become known that the Pistons have the number 1 pick, when it got known and that he was the guy that they were looking at or potentially going to take, all of a sudden, man, it was like, it's so different when you're covering it from a standpoint of media, of coverage. Remember, we were doing the draft shows, Rod. We remember I was sifting through stuff what people were saying. All of a sudden, the narrative's changed to maybe they should look at Jalen Green. Cade Cunningham, he's too slow. He's not explosive enough. He doesn't present enough next level talent for them. Jalen Green has these intangibles. Evan Mobley has these intangibles. It was all of these things that the Pistons should look at other than Cade Cunningham. And Ashton was like, bro, like, man, then when we got here, it was even worse. It was even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I see him online now when he puts that Detroit versus everything. Every time he puts it on there, I put a little heart and I share it. Because I know that he really means it. There might be some people that aggrandize it. There might be some people that wear it as just a brand. They just want to kind of, hop on that, piggyback on that. But to him, and just kind of talking to him in person, he's like, dog, I get it, man. I feel like I'm one of y'all. Like I am one of you guys. And I'm going to make sure I put on all my platforms. So it's like, shout out Ashton. But this stuff is wild, man. I don't understand how Cade Cunningham, and I got some stats here I wanted to share. Shout out Sean Murphy, because he was always somebody when we used to do arcade zones and we would do the table talks and whatnot. He would always try to make sure he would text me when we were doing our thing or on the table talk, make sure he brought this up, man. Something that only Cade Cunningham and Michael Jordan have done as rookies, man. Do you know that month that I'm talking about in March?
Yeah.
His rookie season? 22.9 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, and 7 assists per game. Just if we want to be exact. I mean, we could say 23, 6, and 7. The only other rookies in NBA history to average at least 22, 5, and 7 in a month. Minimum 10 games. Michael Jordan and Oscar Robertson, man. What are we doing? Like, I understand trying to take people money. I understand. Because if it was just FanDuel, cool. But we've been hearing this stuff now for 2 years. Going on 2 years. We've been hearing these notions and these narratives. I still have people in the comments talking about Cade Cunningham didn't lead nobody to wins. Cade Cunningham was here and the Pistons didn't do anything. These are the things that we continue to hear. Bro, post All-Star break, Cade Cunningham on the floor with the Pistons, plus 5.9. That's good. With him on the bench, bro. What do you think? What do you think the Pistons net rating was with him on the bench?
-7.
Nah, bro. -10.7.
I mean, that's
a 15-point spread. What are we doing?
Now, Brandon, I always say don't read the comments. Don't consider the source for anything. And this isn't me jumping on FanDuel, but they aren't regarded as big time content creators. This could just as easily be a tankathon spin.
His water to cool down.
Man, leave Jeff alone. Jeff is sitting there resting comfortably, and you're gonna bother him. That's our stand-in, Jeff, and you just gonna bother him. Let him be.
Bro,
you can't let. You always have to consider the source in something that doesn't make sense to you. If this was, I don't know, Mark Stein, if this was Shams, if this was Woj or somebody who was putting out a redraft, it might mean something a little bit different. Considering the source, this could be it. This could very well be an intern that they have, and they just said, "Hey, we need some content, bro. Just throw something together."
Anyway, let's tweak Detroit. Their engagement capital.
Let me see who was in that draft, because he's probably not old enough to remember. He may not even follow basketball enough. I can see the logic in saying Cade has only played 76 games. And by the time this season is done, Franz will have played twice as many games. I can see the logic in that. But you have to watch games. You have to watch the games and see.
You warned about that.
What do they mean to their team? Is Franz out here getting Orlando in the playoffs? Is Franz out here? So if you're going to say Cade isn't effective, is Franz turning their season around? Are they in the 10th position and I just don't know? Let me look at the standings again, because maybe it's something I don't know. Because maybe Orlando's in the 10 spot and Franz has led them to the 10 spot, and that's what makes more sense with him being no, Franz, they're in the 13th spot. Okay. No, so that's not it.
So
you either have a particular affinity for Franz Wagner or a disrespect for Cade or not an understanding.
Not an understanding.
And
I
maybe
hope
you
that's
just
what it
haven't.
is.
Maybe you just haven't watched games, because when people say things that don't make sense, you have to ask yourself, why would they be saying that? Why would they write that? Why would they post that? Maybe they're trying to get a rise out of you, which they did. So if that was the
Just a
objective,
little bit.
they
I even
succeeded.
knocked the custom you sign off kilter, man. I was like, man, I was heated. And I shout out, you know what? You said it last episode. Shout out to Pistons Twitter. Shout out to the media. They went to bat right away. And that's what I love doing what we do. I love it. Shout out Cool Cahill. He put out just a video. He said, I just want you guys to watch this clip and tell me what your takeaway is. Go to shout out Cool Cahill. You can see the video on there. And it was Cade Cunningham. Easily finding a way to, one, get open in the middle despite the pick and roll not doing anything for him. I mean, the roller didn't roll. The pick didn't get him open. He still wound up open in the middle. The defense collapsed, man. At the tail end of his pass, there are literally 4 guys on him. And the only reason why the 5th guy wasn't on him is because he's literally able to just reach his hand out and still have the other his defender by him. Passes it right over to Stu, who hits a shot. Hey, wide open. It's like, that's Cade Cunningham. So it's like, yeah, if you're not really watching, I can understand if you think he's just padding, his stats and whatnot. But Cade Cunningham, and this is why last year's post-All-Star break run was so important. It proves that what he did made a difference in wins and losses. And furthermore, shout out MOB Hoops on Twitter as well, at MOB Hoops. He went on a tirade, man. He just started posting everything, the Cade and Michael Jordan comparison. He posted the PR thing that the Pistons PR sent out when Cade, when the season finally went final. Cade Cunningham, all-time Pistons rookies combined for 2 triple-doubles. He had 2 triple-doubles last year as a rookie. Think about that. All of the NBA rookies last year combined for 7 such games of 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Cade Cunningham had 7 such games as a rookie. Think about this. On pace to become 10th rookie ever to average 17, 5 and 5. What are we? All right. Shout out MLB Hoops. Double team, 12.8 possessions per game. First among rookies. And then he came this year and averaged 26 and 6 before willingly saying, hey, I want to be able to take the surgery to come back next year and put up all-star type season again.
Won't they forget what you did? It really is. What have you done for me lately? And people will forget about Cade. I mean, and he made the list, and he probably sent in the first 2 and was like, dang, I forgot Cade. I can slide him in at 3. But it's like,
I got another one for you. I'll let you cook, but I got one more for you before we talk about the second.
No, go ahead and saute up some stuff.
Houston fans, man.
Don't do it.
This poll got me because it got over 3,000, about 2,700 results. So I was like, all right, this is not one of the all got 27, got 270. You got 2,700 results from Biased Houston at Biased Houston. It's one of their bigger influencers in the community. I just wanted to ask you this question. Detroit lands the number 2 pick and intends. So this is if they get the number 2 pick and intends to form a backcourt of Scoot Henderson and Cade Cunningham. They're willing to trade Jaden Ivey. If you're the Houston Rockets, bottom 3 team in the NBA, what would you trade for Jaden Ivey, assuming Detroit wanted to make a deal? First of all, what? And I know I didn't want to even deal with it, but Rod, I was like, yo, it was the results that got me. The question was like, I bypassed. All right. 21% said that they would trade the number 4 pick for Ivy. 13% said they would trade the number 5 pick. 20% said they would trade the number 6 or 7 pick for Ivy. 50%, 46% said they would not trade for Ivy at all. And the comments as to why, bro, I just can't.
Don't read the comments.
I just can't.
Don't read the comments.
All of this hate for our guys, man.
It's Houston. Houston really felt like they should have gotten the number 1 pick. That's really where all this is coming from. It's still big man, large man, not medium man or small man. They are large man.
2,700 people, man. 46% said they want no piece of Ivy. They think they said he's a Russell Westbrook clone who can't shoot.
Oh.
That's what they said.
Oh.
That's I'm just like, man, you're right. People don't watch basketball. But it's so loaded because it's just like, all right, that's so loaded because the Russell Westbrook disrespect is crazy. I get where the career might have gone. I get where it might have gone, but I don't even know how to deal with that, man. Like most of the comments saying that.
So let's do this. If Jaden Ivey ends up winning a couple of MVPs and averages a triple-double for a couple of seasons, I'm good with that. That's cool. But it is your scholarly analysts would say the Pistons would probably trade out of that number 2 pick. If you're choosing, who would you choose between Scoot and Jaden Ivey?
Jaden Ivey.
Okay. So more than
that's not even us. Come on.
Okay. So your scholars who are analysts, your informed analysts would say if the Pistons got the number 2 pick, they would probably trade out of it and assemble a package of picks and maybe even squeeze out a veteran who could be in the rotation. So
I like your outlook on this already.
So to suppose that they would even trade Ivy is crazy. That they would take over in, but trade the number 4 ever pick at all with Houston is just as crazy. So again, it is uninformed people. You always got to look at who's at what they're saying, and if what they're saying doesn't make sense, who's saying it? Who's saying that thing? These are Houston fans. Obviously, they have an agenda. Let me check the standings again.
Based on the results, bro, they don't even know what their agenda is, and they don't even know what their squad is doing. These fools said give up the number 4 pick, and they also said they want no parts of Ivy because he may wind up like a multiple time, MVP or league MVP who's leading the league in triple doubles, multiple seasons.
So I'm off the beat, so I don't look at the standings very much. But let me see, because it sounds like Houston is in the 9 or 10 spot in the West, and they are going like gang, but they are not. They have a worse record than the Pistons right now. So are y'all trying to trade for somebody who's at least somewhat established? Bro, don't read the comments. And if you do, consider the source always, and it'll save the custom ink sign behind you. It'll stand in Jeff will be safe. It puts you in a better mental space when you consider where it's coming from. That survey could have been done by bots. Everything it might not even be real humans that we're talking about with real opinions.
It can't be.
Because the AI can come up with, they can type comments into the surveys. So let's just assume those aren't real people. I'm gonna give Houston the benefit of the doubt and say those aren't real people. That's just a bot that created that. There's a bot that created this redraft. And I mean, if you can't look at this thing and see that we're humans, then I mean, I don't know. There are crazy takes out there.
Man, I love some of the fans though. I really do. The fans are out. They are believing.
Fans. They might be bots.
They might be bots.
Have you confirmed that they're humans? There might not be humans that are doing these things. It explains things better than trying to sift through these opinions and explain the opinions. But go ahead.
It does. I respect Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons fans we do know. The ones that have at least gone through those turnstiles and are making their presence known as well on social media.
There should be a little box at the bottom of this thing. Are you a human? And you got to check this box. For every poll that you do, Are you a human? If that box isn't there, then these might be bots that we're talking about.
Oh, snap. They're going in though, man. They're going in. They're really on here like, yo, Cade got to be the only player to average 26 and 6 on one leg while having a lineup with no spacing, no lob threat to still get called trash. Like, bro didn't even have a chance to be some efficiency player with his whistle and supporting cast. Year 3, I love this. Finna be scary. I love the finna. I believe it, man. I do. I feel like this aspect of Cade zone is something that I really, really, really loved because I think it helped keep things balanced. You know, we go away from the Cade zone a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like Mount Vesuvius is just like
So
an eruption.
give me this. Give me you are a human checkbox. Give me your top 5 from in a redraft.
Ooh. You know what? Let's do that. Cade Cunningham, number 1.
Okay.
Evan Mobley, number 2.
Okay.
And honestly, that's been the hardest one to decide between. That's been the most difficult one for me to really decide between. I believe that Cade Cunningham is that pick, but Evan Mobley, man, he just continues to be, for me, more and more tantalizing. He went from a player that I thought would be okay, he would be good, he had some measurables, to a guy that just continues to be consistently what he is. And it's impressive to me. Number 3, Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
Number 4 is where it gets tough for me because Josh Giddey, he's tough, man. He's so tough. I think oh man. Sorry, Jalen Green. I think I gotta go Josh Giddey and then Jalen Green. Cade, yeah, Mobley, Barnes, Giddey, Green. That'll be my top 5. Oh man,
so
now I'm about to
you
get
have
ripped by somebody.
You have no Wagner in there.
You said what?
You have no Franz Wagner in there then.
I don't know, man. It's like Green, Giddey, and Wagner. Can we like throw them all in a octagon? Let them fight it out.
And so here's the trick too: is we're not looking at roster needs or anything. It's not even a redraft. That's probably a bad term to put on it. This is more of a ranking those players because Cleveland wasn't going to need a guard at that time.
Nah.
So you're changing a lot of what the landscape ended up looking like if you're doing this. But just ranking these players, it really is. It's not a fit thing. It really is what your taste is and what you like. Because I think Giddey is a very solid player. Barnes, all of these guys are very solid players. So I don't think there's necessarily a wrong answer, except for this one that FanDuel put out. That's the only legitimate wrong answer.
We gotta shred that one, man.
that one's wrong. I would never in any variation of this.
I love the way you circle back around on that one.
Because I'm a human, I would never have Franz Wagner at 2. That just
you what? Put that on his shirt, bro.
You can convince me.
Franz Wagner at 2.
You could convince me of Mobley, Cunningham, or Cunningham Mobley. I could listen to that all day. Doesn't even matter. Mm-hmm. But Barnes, Wagner, I would almost say Barnes, Wagner, Giddey, or Barnes, Giddey, Wagner, something like that. Mm-hmm. But that would be the 5. I'm not a big Jalen Green guy because I don't know how much he contributes to winning. I don't know that he has the leadership that Cade has. And if that was the dividing line, ability. Right. He has arguably more talent around him. Jalen Green does.
Yeah.
And he's done less with it. So where's the vitriol for Jalen Green when they built kind of everything around him the same sort of way. And they had a magnificent 2021 draft.
All
And
these guys got more around them than Cade Cunningham.
yeah.
Except for Franz. Except Franz, maybe.
So here's the Cade didn't do anything because the Pistons are still trash. There's that narrative. But there's not that same narrative for Jalen Green. I haven't heard Jalen Green is trash because Houston is 13 wins and they have a worse record than the Pistons. And has Jalen Green been hurt and out for the entire season? So it's a narrative. It's what people want to say, but you treat things a little bit differently. And that's the fairness or unfairness or whatever you want to call it. But that's just where we are right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, to regular Pistons news, obviously the season starts. They play Orlando Magic tonight, so we'll definitely get another look at Franz. I'm sure he's listening. He's going to hear this at some point in time and be like, you know what, skip that guy. And come out
is
here.
Is that tonight or tomorrow?
Is it? I think it's, when is it?
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday the 23rd. You know what? And I put that in like my last 3 articles, man. You're right. Tomorrow. So yeah. So oh my goodness. So you mean to tell me that he's gonna have time to marinate on this actually,
and
then come out and then absolutely flame the Detroit Pistons? But what do you make of the Pistons signing RJ Hampton? Yeah, I see a lot of people. They are actually excited for it, and I still see the jokes of, "Hey, there's a reclamation project Troy won't take." For me personally, I remember all of the different flyers that other good teams would take. And I would always wonder, why don't the Pistons do that? Now we have a GM that does it with no risk, and people still find a small little bit of space to complain. But most people are looking forward to any aspect of athleticism and or any pulse of defense he may be able to bring to the perimeter.
I don't get what people want. I don't get it. I don't here. Who did they trade to get RJ Hampton? They had to give up a bunch of draft picks to bring him in for people to be upset about it.
They cried when he cut Jalen hands. They're going to complain to some degrees about RJ Hampton.
Refresh me on this. What was the trade package to get RJ Hampton? Nothing. And they had an open roster spot? Cool. Okay. So they didn't give up anything. It's a first-round pick that you're taking a shot on just for the remainder of this year. It's an expiring contract. You are literally risking nothing. Literally nothing. Unless you think Umude is going to blossom and he's stealing Umude's playing time. Okay.
Most people don't even know that he's on the roster, bro.
But so people want something to complain about. And there is nothing in this deal for RJ Hampton to complain about, unless you're going to say he's taking Corey's minutes.
Everybody's been asking for, hey, they haven't said that they want Corey gone. They said they just want a reputable replacement, somebody that can come in and now, hey, Corey can still be that veteran, still going maybe in a pinch. And it's like, we got a guy who we get to kind of fill that role. Like, isn't this kind of one of the answers to the complaints that fans had earlier? I don't know, man. You got somebody who can really, really put somebody through the rim when he jumps with the ball in his hands. Take the flyer. You know, this team, it needs more athleticism in the backcourt. It needs just anybody, like we stated, who can play a little bit of defense. Just take the time to look at it. Get a little bit younger because, like we stated, going forward, this offseason is very, very, very pivotal. Just like the Cleveland Cavaliers showed, you can accelerate things very quickly. If your foundation is set with the young players like they had, you can augment things like that with cap space and draft capital. Like we stated, they could package their whatever pick they get in this year's draft, if it's a top 3, 4, 5, or whatever pick, and still come away with a lot. That's before that they even really get into an aspect of utilizing their cap space. So they could turn this thing quickly. Bojan Bogdanovic in his Hoops Hype article stated that is their intention, that this summer they plan to get busy. You know, that wasn't the exact quote, but that was the intentionality to what he was stating. So it's like, I don't, you know, this was one of the comments that I saw. You say out the comments, but somebody said, "Man, you guys are always defending their mistakes," and it's like, I think it's more or less if they weren't cleaning up after themselves, then we would have a problem. That's when I would be like, okay, if we had proof that this system is not working, clearly they said it's about 4 or 5 year window, then yeah, we will crash this thing. But until then, we just look at this and we say, you know what? You probably missed up here. What are you going to do? Oh, you're going to draft a Jaden Ivey and a Jalen Duren? Okay. Oh, and a Cade Cunningham? Okay. We can work on that. Right? That's like human, like you said, that's the human checkbox of things. Right? Take with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
If my kids do something wrong, the whole process to raising them is the fact that they're going to make a mistake, but you want to see them get better. You want to see them learn from it. You want to see them not repeat those mistakes. That's the notion of it. That's the most simple or basic notion or way that I can put it. With Troy Weaver, whether Killian Hayes, like I see people saying, oh, that whole first draft class is a bust. Look at them. They get moved to the bench. They're this, they're that. Oh, Killian Hayes is nothing. He already traded Sadiq Bey, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, guys, the reason why that first core is starting to kind of get pushed to some fringes at all is because of what Troy Weaver has done, not because of what he refused to do or it was just remained inactive. We've seen previous GMs pick their guys, right? It took them 4 years to pick the 4 guys that Troy picked his first year. We've seen them do that. He did his first year. And then we've seen him sit with those guys for years, man. For years. Kudos on him. If it doesn't work, we will be on here and say it didn't work for these reasons. But until then, what are we supposed to do?
So they're making it seem as if he traded Sadiq for 2029 was giving up essentially, and that's not what it is. It's I can't do it. It's because people.
Yeah, we handled that last week. You guys can watch that one from last week.
People want to believe what they want to believe, and there's no room for maybe this is possible. It's like when you play poker. When you play poker and you're going for a straight, okay, well, give me 3 cards. Here's my 5. I got 3 that I can work with, or I need 1 more card. Let me do this, and boom. And sometimes you get what you want, and sometimes you don't. But it's not. This isn't Troy Weaver saying, give me 5. I need 5 new cards to start over this hand. It's never been that. It's every trade has been, okay, give me 1. Next hand, give me another one. I got something, and I'm building something over the course of this. And every trade is looking to upgrade. We talked about bartering up. Every trade has been that, and taking a chance. There hasn't been one that you can say he lost. Even if you want to say Sadiq is a questionable trade, we haven't seen any evidence to say that Sadiq is out here burning 40 points against the Pistons or doing anything. You don't know. You don't know. And it's not this he's worth 5 second-round picks. We talked about this last week. That's just what he was worth to the Golden State in that deal because they were shedding cap. So people look at all of these things and make blanket conclusions, but they don't understand the industry. They don't understand the bigger picture of how all this stuff works. That what if James Wiseman does become an integral rotation piece? Then you sold as high as you could on Sadiq and you bought low on Wiseman, and maybe it works out. Or maybe you end up trading Wiseman and getting another upgrade. So it's a subtle upgrade. But would you, for anybody that says Troy Weaver is messing up, take the roster that he had when he got here. Take the roster that he has now. Which one of those would you rather have?
Which outlook would you rather have?
So it's the situation. And I said roster, but it is the situation. Do you want the roster that he has now with the cap flexibility and the draft picks and everything else still intact? Or would you take the situation that they had where they had no cap space and they were locked into that roster that they had? And there were very few sort of that dude's going to be something in another year or two. Or I'm excited to see where his trajectory is going to take him. There were very few of those. Guys were what they were at the time. Luke Kennard wasn't getting significantly better. Luke is what he is right now. And that's the NBA player that he's going to be. He might make a little jump here or there, but Luke is what he is. Yep. He can help a playoff team, but he's not going to be your 1A, come out here and score 22 every night. But you know who is? Cade Cunningham. So you have a guy, you've built a roster that you can build around, that you can grow with. The results aren't there just yet, but do you have any faith that it can happen? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So the people who want to say Troy Weaver has failed and he hasn't won on anything, they don't understand how to put a roster together, and that he's done it in the 3 years. That's the piece there, is that when you start from scratch and build something, it doesn't take you can't do it in 1 or 2. That's why GMs don't get 3-year contracts. GMs get 5-year contracts. And you know what else Troy Weaver just got? An extension.
Don't make him mad, bro.
He just got an extension.
You're right.
So his extension says when the Pistons could have gone out and gotten anybody else that they wanted, they gave him an extension because they like what he's doing. So in a lot of ways, angry fan who may or may not be a human, your opinion doesn't matter. Because you're not hiring Troy Weaver. Nope. You're not signing his extension. You are complaining on the side, and you're not helping with anything. Your views are probably off, and you believe what you believe. You can have your opinion, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to change the trajectory this team is going to take. So just go in the corner and be angry. And you can ball up your fists and you can do this or whatever makes you happy. But this is what's going to be. That's just it.
He said Arthur meme in the corner, bro. Look, look, check this out. Because you know what I believe about Tom Gores and this organization is that they believe they can buy a playoff team any year they want. They just don't know how sustainable that is. Tom Gores proved it. He proved it. They bought a couple playoff teams. It was trash, man. And fans saw straight through it. And what did he do? Throughout Tom Gores' ownership, it's been a slow and steady evolution. First, it was, hey, I want to win. But there were some things that he had to figure out. And then he started bringing in basketball minds into the front office. And he continued to augment that, man, to the point that now, underneath SVG, they had an opportunity to be every year, in my opinion, just to me, a bottom tier playoff team. Every year, they had an opportunity to be in it or fall just short. I think that's an easy spot to be at in the NBA because people are purposely trying to tank or purposely trying to get to the top. People aren't purposely trying to be the 8th seed unless they are a team on the rise. And those teams come far and few in between. So the Pistons know, bro, we can go out there and start slapping this money around and put NBA players out here and run around and get the 8th seed, get the 7th seed, play in the play-in tournament every single year. This is not about that, man. People keep talking about wins and losses. This is about the foundation. They've consistently talked about the players they've identified and the types of characters they've had and the fact that they want Casey here for this specific part because he's shown a proficiency in getting some of these players to the place they need. If they want to start winning soon and they had this window to mesh up with this year, you talked about this in the offseason. They signed Bagley, they signed Bojan, they signed some of these people to the deals they did to match up and mesh up with certain windows. It's playing out exactly how you stated. It's playing out exactly how we trajectorized. They're making the decisions on the players that we stated. They're doing exactly what they've been saying that they're going to do, and he's not moving at anyone's pace. He's not really caring, which is honestly better. I don't want the GM to be worrying about what I think, you think, or someone else thinks. I don't. I want this guy to go out there and state, you know what? I know what this car is already. I already know what the blueprint is already. This is what we're doing, and this is what we're going to go out there and do. We're going to go out there and get this. And he did it. We know what the draft board looked like. We sat here and continued to say, Ivy. We continue to say, man, that Duren guy looks awesome. Then they came out and said, Ivy and Duren. And we would have took Duren as high as whatever, 5. Like, so, and come on, man. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren. Whatever we get this year. Are you kidding me? We're not even talking about, the small hits on guys like Isaiah Livers, what potentially could come out of RJ Hampton and James Wiseman as just young players. Figure these things out. We're not even talking about the fact that Isaiah Stewart, no matter if you think he's a starter or not, That is a bona fide NBA player, man, who is making a difference and an impact. He stated, I'm going to go out there and I want to play and have an impact similar to Al Horford. You want to look at the stats? You want to look at it? You don't believe that Isaiah Stewart on a team with a little bit more talent or on a winning team would be a plus player that would help the team win? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't have time for it. And with Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart, these are players that traditionally, when a GM is coming in, the players that were traded to get them are just broomed out, brushed out, not really thought of, thrown in some deal, cut. We saw SVG come in and do what with random players? Just throw them to the wind. What happened to Spencer Dinwiddie?
Mm-hmm.
I always say this, man. He got traded for a bar stool. Was it Cameron Bairstow?
Mm-hmm.
What? Instead of doing things like that, instead of taking our players, what do we get for Stanley Johnson? I like realistically, I don't really remember. You see what I'm saying? When you talk about Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown, though, the fact that you can still trace, there is positivity coming from this. There's still potential coming from draft picks that Troy Weaver didn't make. Now it's in the tune of James Wiseman, the former number 2 overall pick, right? That's what happened here. Luke Kennard, Sadiq Bey, James Wiseman. Other GMs would have just been asleep at the wheel coming in. It would have been just like, I'm not paying this guy the bag that the Clippers are about to pay Luke Kennard, that they paid him. Think about that. It would have just been, just let him go. Let him walk. And when Troy did do that, let one guy walk, he still traded that guy. And it was an unrestricted free agent in Christian Wood.
So,
come on.
What? Here's me defending Troy Weaver, because apparently that's all we can do. Here's me defending Tom Gores as a team owner.
I thought these were track records, man, that people could easily see.
They did what they were going to do. When Troy Weaver came, he gave you a whole blueprint and what this whole thing was going to be. The best you can ask from a GM is that he does what he says, and he gives you a vision and sticks to that vision. What did Tom Gores say when he hired Troy Weaver? This is a basketball dude, and we're going to get out of the way and let him do what he needs to do. We're not going to come in and say we need to make hasty decisions and go get me that guy. He's our basketball man. We're going to listen to our basketball dude. That's the best that you can expect from and anticipate from and hope for from an owner and a GM. The owner stays out the way except when he's needed to make a big decision on something, and the GM does what he told you he was going to do. I don't know what fans want beyond that. I don't know if they want you to pull some rabbit out of do something.
I got more hot. I got more hot about Troy than the Cade stuff. Goodness, I didn't anticipate this.
No, but that's how people are. Is they want everything to be right, to be in hindsight, to go back through this draft and say, see, he should have taken Evan Mobley with the number 1 pick. That's not how stuff works in the moment. You can only work with the information that you have at that time. So I'm not going to get I'm not going to get lit up about this.
You've been very reserved today, Rod.
I'm always very reserved. But it is, I don't know what fans want because they think that Troy is going to over-deliver something else, is the only thing that I can suggest, or that he's going to get every single thing right and it's going to happen. It's a microwave thing. It's just that water Kool-Aid. we got a contender right now. Pour the water in, we good to go. That's not how any of this works. Look at Cleveland, look at Utah, look at any of these teams that have really have Phoenix, who have made a significant jump. Phoenix had Devin Booker and they had all of these pieces, and they had Chris Paul, and then all of a sudden it just magically comes together.
Oh, wait. You mean to tell me that with your cap space, you can absorb a player through trade or sign somebody that can instantly take your foundational pieces that you've been patiently building to the next level kind of overnight, just like what happened with Cleveland too?
And so here's the evolution of it all, is you have these draft picks, you kind of wallow in nothingness, and Phoenix was bad. People talk about how bad the Pistons were. They had Devin Booker and they were bad.
He was complaining about it publicly, like, bro, I ain't been to the
Publicly.
playoffs yet.
Publicly. So then you add Chris Paul, and now you get yourself in a position where you can get a KD. So you show me where Phoenix is now and compare it to where they were 3 years ago. I'm not saying that's exactly the path that the Pistons are going to take, but I'm saying it's possible. And I'm saying Cleveland is in the same sort of position. Before Boston got Jalen Green and Jason Tatum.
Oh,
you
Jaylen
get a
Brown.
couple, or Jaylen Brown. I'm sorry, Jaylen Brown
gotcha.
and Jason Tatum. Before they do that, where were they? They were just kind of wallowing. So that's how the NBA works now. Is you've got to be, and if you want to go all you got to do is go back to Golden State the same sort of way. Clay, Draymond, Steph. Steph was not the star that he is, but they had to build into that through the draft and add some more pieces and make it happen. Theirs is more of a homegrown. They didn't go get magical free agents. You know who they did go get was KD, though, because they got in a position where they could. So it's not going to happen overnight. All of these draft picks are not going to jump up and be them that like a Golden State, but it's more like a Phoenix. It's more like a Boston. It's more like a Cleveland, where you construct it, and if you trust your GM to do that, then it can happen for you.
When was Isaiah Thomas drafted? The legend, the GOAT, Zeke, 1981.
Yeah, 81.
81 NBA draft. And when did they win that championship? Those championships. So it was years later, 88, 89, 89, 90. Like it takes time. And they're the key players that are important for the bad boys are guys like Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars. But when you start talking about Trader Jack and Chuck Daly, it's about what those guys were able to do on the fly once the foundation was set. We talk about the in-season trades. We talk about some of the things that they had to do to make sure that this team was properly augmented to be able to be the championship caliber team and the legendary team that we know them as today. And Troy Weaver stated, hey, they are the blueprint. They are what we are, the aspect of restoration. They are what we are copying. This is what this is about. And Cade Cunningham, when he came to the Pistons, that's what when he got drafted by the Pistons, that's what he echoed as well. It was about the bad boys, the going to work Pistons. They stated the same thing. It was about getting back to those roots. And so it's like, when you look at the perspective of how the most successful teams in NBA history have been built, not overnight teams. I'm not talking about those that may just creep up one day and get like a lucky spurt for a year. I mean, those successful teams that have dynastic, qualities on their resume, like the teams you mentioned, like the Warriors. I believe with where the Celtics are headed, they have an opportunity. If Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum continue, they have a serious opportunity, man, to be one of those same types of teams. They really do. But when you look at these squads that have built up that way, it's always the same or similar DNA. Like you stated, to be fair, the Pistons might not do exactly what Phoenix is doing. They might not take that exact route. They might not. But kind of the DNA behind it all, that's been kind of the same model behind any winner of longevity, including the Spurs. Like San Antonio Spurs fans, they just kind of, when their downtime comes, they just kind of, hey, it's a program. We're building up. Like, and they know it. And fans around the league know it. They're like, yo, they're going to be back because it's a program.
But it is your people feel like their faith cannot be rewarded until they see something. And
that's true. Gotta be fair.
So I get it, but the faith isn't by sight. It's not. You don't have to see it to know that it's there. Faith is just knowing, okay, this thing is going to happen. So that's all I got. Because we're saying the same things over and over, and this is.
I just had to get one off the chest. The 50th episode.
50. I mean, that's you, man. And congrats on 50, because this is you and your passion. I'm just along for the ride, and
I appreciate you.
I'm in the passenger seat. I control the radio. If you need some French fries, I give you the bag and do whatever. I'm just the co-pilot on the side and in the passenger seat and along for the ride. You're driving this thing.
I appreciate you, Rod. I appreciate you. This has been one of the most awesome experiences I've had, just in sports in general. And I've considered myself pretty lucky in the sports world to be able to do certain things like play college ball. My school played NCAA for 2 of the years that I was there, which was an awesome experience to be able to go to some great gyms like Virginia Union, UNC Wilmington, among others. And meet some great players, man, some great people from just of the fabric of the game. Played with some pro-am players, played with pro players. Steve Francis grew up right behind our gym. So I've had some really cool things, like right behind our college gym. He grew up there. He sponsored us, gave us all of our gear, continued to do pro-ams there. It was awesome in Maryland. High school, man. I just posted some snippets of the article that I was in. I had a pretty cool high school career, but Rod, I'm telling you, I don't know if anything is really compared to what's been started with this Woodward Pistons platform as it relates to my love for sports, my love for the Pistons, and my love for people. Just community, camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood. Because look, man, my wife, my cousins, and all them, they watch the show, they start talking about it and everything. It's been a pretty cool, just I don't know, experience, man, that has really shaped and reshaped the way I'm going to do things moving forward. It's not just Pistons. It's not just basketball. It's something a little bit bigger.
No, and that passion comes through, and I hope people appreciate that, because you know what you're talking about. And just like we're talking about with the bots and everything else, it's not just you don't go look up stuff. You don't do show prep. We just put on earbuds and just start going. It's not that. It is you have the passion for it. You're growing in the role. You're covering. You're going to games. And I told you in the beginning, it changes your perspective when you're in the interview room and you're listening to people. It's not just quotes or not just what Bally Sports shows in the post-game interview. There's more to it than that. It's looking people in the face and asking questions, and they know you and you know them. That makes all the difference in the world. So I'm proud of the progression that you're making. I appreciate what you do and your passion for it. And I just want you to continue on with what you're doing. It's 50 shows. Let's get to 150 shows. Let's just keep rocking with it.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. We got some stuff on the way too, man. Woodward Sports, they want some upgrade. It's finally on the way. Let's just say that. Let's say that. So we got Jeff Ife ready. We got him ready for it. He's gonna rock for it. Are you gonna be able to be available and a part of this content?
Hey, we'll make it happen. We'll find some time. If we're recording at 3 a.m, we will make it happen.
Yo, I'm telling you, it's gonna be the biggest, baddest show. I'm telling you, we already got, like Braylon, Terry, Foster, some other people, Darren McCarty. They're gonna just come through. It's gonna be the spot where people can just come through and realistically just lay out your Pistons thoughts. It's gonna be an awesome format. I can't wait.
And this is the time to get in. It's sort of on the ground floor when people are saying this is a horrible team, because when it gets to the critical mass and Cade has 2 healthy shins, then and Victor is out here, then the listenership is going to be, you got to speak it into existence. You know this. You got to speak this into existence.
We're going to. You know what? Do you have 5 minutes for me? 5 more
minutes.
5 minutes. Just give me the 5 minutes. Hold on.
Are we replacing that water bottle?
I think.
Are we replacing the water bottle with a human?
I think we are, bro. Like, I'm trying to tell, don't twist the ankle or anything. Come here, bro. Run.
Yes. We're upgrading on the water bottle.
Bro, where's the microphone? We gotta get you plugged up. Here, you sit here.
I'll plug it in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, yo, we haven't had this in a while. What's up, baby? We haven't had this in a while.
Hey, so do this.
We got Adam in the building as well. Rod, Adam says, "What's good?"
Tell Adam I said, "What up?"
Rod?
Oh my goodness.
How you doing, Rod?
Hey, Brandon, reach over and touch him touch his shoulder
Is
so
he
that
a
we know.
bot?
No, we have to know he's not a hologram. If your
My
hand goes through, he's a hologram.
Rod, I drove myself. Rod, you'd be proud. I drove myself to work. I didn't need an escort. I didn't have bodyguards. All right, I was by myself.
What up, Rod? How you doing, buddy?
What up? What up? I'm doing all right. Hey, this is a security risk. You don't have any bodyguards with you. What if you run into
Kool-Aid walks
strangers?
around strapped, man.
Yeah, I got Kool-Aid will take care of it for me.
God.
And by the way, Rod, don't think I didn't catch the violin last episode when he was talking about it. I saw the violin.
We clown every episode. It's so good to see you guys on here, man. Jeff,
I
love
was
you, man.
dying.
you were becoming a rumor that we thought you existed, but we again. So that people understand, you got to put that hand over there so he's not a hologram. Does your hand go?
I think it's the real thing. I think it's the real thing.
Click this box if you're a human.
I'm not here for any advertisement purposes. I'm not here to support, promote a brand. I'm not here to.
Oh, this is awesome.
Brandon didn't pay me to be here. This is free of charge. It's on the house.
Wow. Hey, is he going to be able to enjoy dinner? Because I can very clearly see chicken.
I can't wait for Friday.
Chicken nuggets. I have never. Where's the classy menu? This is preposterous.
They're gonna call him Jeffrey while we're there, man.
No.
Like Jeffrey. Like,
no.
Who? You know how they say you go into a restaurant with a tablecloth and napkins. This is gonna be. They don't have white gloves and tuxes and tails on because Jeff is coming. They're gonna bring in their guy. This is a special
so we might
guy.
get the treatment this time, then, right?
We might get the treatment. Jeff, it's so good to see you, man. It's so good.
What's up, brother?
Dude, I would be looking at that bill at the end of dinner when I get my bill, and I'll be checked. I am not at the level of fame or notoriety where I can walk into a restaurant and say, give me what's not on the menu. Let me look at the other menu. The menu you don't give to the regular people. Give me the special menu, the expensive. I will get there at some point, but right now, Rod, I'm just happy to be eating chicken, to be honest with you.
Says Jeff, the superstar with this golden voice.
Brandon,
that rocks Detroit.
Jeff is going to order market price, whatever. He's only getting stuff that says market price on it. There will be.
I'm negotiating with.
You don't even look at the menu prices.
It's just market price. Was this lobster flown in today? If it wasn't flown in today, I will not be having the lobster today.
Oh,
is this farm raised?
Yeah, I need to know the lobster's name, where it came from, and was it picked out of the Atlantic? It's got to be out of specifically the Atlantic Ocean.
Yo, I can't wait for Friday. I can't wait for Friday, man.
I don't know if I can wait. I mean, I can't wait for the jokes. I mean,
what breed is this lobster? I need to see his papers. Where did he fly in?
That's messed up. You know what's funny too? I don't think I've ever even had lobster. Like, that's what's funny. Like,
do you believe that, Rod?
What do you think he's gonna think about it?
I think he's ordered lobster before, but his royal tester has deemed it unworthy.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, this is
my people wouldn't let me eat it. Yeah.
This is room temperature. This is room temperature. Jeff would not appreciate this room temperature lobster. Is there any colder that you might have in the back?
Oh my god!
I like my water no ice. I don't want any ice.
Bro. The ordering water is going to be the hardest part because they're going to be like, is tap cool? I'm going to be like, yeah, tap's cool. Jeff's going to no.
I need Fiji.
On the side.
I need Fiji.
No. I need Fiji, and these lemons have to be cut in concentric circles to place on the edge of my glass.
See, only Fiji, please? Oh, you don't have Fiji. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, I guess
the ice in my water has to be frozen Fiji also. Don't give me tap water frozen ice in my Fiji.
I'm telling y'all what the Woodward Pistons platform can do for you.
Oh yeah, it does wonders, guys. It does wonders.
I mean, Jeff is on the come up. Hey, Brandon, I hope someday you can get to Jeff's elite level.
one day, man. I'm just sitting around hoping. No, I'm so proud of him. No, like on a serious though, yeah, real talk. It's like I'm proud of you, man. Like I really am. I remember for a time there, it was like he was on the show, and he had found his way there just due to his propensity with sports, man. The way he can handle himself, as well as his character, something that people identify very, very quickly. And
can you confirm it's not a Hollywood character?
This was before.
Can you confirm?
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get to where you are today. We're starting from where you were. I'm just paying homage to the guy that I remember, the guy that
from humble beginnings. From humble beginnings.
Episodes.
I changed.
So, yeah, he worked his way up, and he filled it admirably on that morning Woodward show while they were going through some changes. And ultimately, when the legend Terry Foster was brought in, we started 2 platforms.
Yeah.
From Half Court and Woodward Pistons. And Jeff wasn't on the morning Woodward show during that time. And he just grinded. He just worked. No sulking. He just grinded, man. He said he was appreciative for his opportunity. He said he was grateful to have any part in this and being able to, have this with the fans of Detroit. And he just worked hard, continued to work hard. We saw a positive reception when we brought Jeff into the Woodward Pistons podcast and platform, and our camaraderie and our brotherhood just kind of took off. It just did, to the point that I hear it from other people. They're like, man, y'all look so cool. Y'all look so close. Y'all look like bros. And it's meant a lot, to the point that we can get on here and talk about some real life things like Hollywood Jeff, and it doesn't really,
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it, Rod. See, it was all nice. See, he was building up, and I'm like, oh wow, he's saying great, nice things. And I go, wait for it. It's coming. I knew it was coming at the end there.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I appreciate you, bro.
Just wait for it.
Yeah. He'll find a way to sneak it in.
And Jeff wasn't here for it, but Rod said he's gonna find a way to make this content work. So our weekend show.
Oh.
It's gonna be lit.
So more Hollywood jokes, Rod? Is that where we're trending towards?
I'm good for the day. I'm just happy to see you. We got to give you the business.
Let's go. He's done. He's on empty. No. Okay.
No,
I'm excited, man.
Not on empty, but
okay. You're like maybe quarter. You got a quarter left.
But this was awesome. Rod, I know you gave extra time. A lot of extra time today. I appreciate you.
See, look at the difference too.
I'm
Rod is the more notoriety person, but he's given extra time. And then there's me, who I need Fiji. I need my lobster at a specific temperature, and I need to be escorted in and out of the building.
No, look.
I need a limo. Like
I was delaying this thing. When I saw 950, I was like, man, Rod's gonna hate me. But
now Rod's
draw this out. We gotta get to 10.
Rod's humble
and have this, and I appreciate you.
I got to take notes from you, Rod. I do.
It's not that difficult. It's easy. if you can check that box, I am a human, then it's going to be that much easier to do.
Bring that. I'm gonna bring that printed out on Friday. We're gonna make sure text the box. Literally, we're gonna get that on film.
We're gonna get his stunt double. Is what actually was.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get the
I'll send someone else. Go to Cabo for the weekend.
Blink twice if you are not Jeff.
I'll just let me just scratch that idea off real quick.
So Jeff, when we ask you for the password, it's Finis Dembo. Okay. So you have to remember Finis Dembo. So when your stand-in, your stunt double says something completely, what's the password? And he says something different, then we know it's not you.
We know.
If you say Finis Dembo, we know it's you. Any other way, it's a stand-in.
Dude, I love it.
You know what? Noted. I will.
I love
and
it.
I promise I won't rewatch this podcast just to get that word. I promise. I won't. I'm not doing that.
Jeff is in control of our audio. When
just save that word, and we'll just
so y'all know, when I say Mr. Everything, I really mean that. Like when this podcast is recorded, Jeff is the reason why this stuff gets up and gets out there, man. I appreciate his work.
Don't tell him that. It ruins my persona.
Even the ones he's not on, y'all.
Yeah.
He loves it. Like I and that's why, like I said, you guys, your names are down at the bottom. It's been awesome. This is episode 50. I am so glad we got you on for this
50,
50,
wow.
man.
That's crazy.
50. So
50.
Rod said to the next 100 and 150, and we got some fun things in store. Today we're gonna let Jeff Iafredi lead the drum roll. So for the Woodward Pistons podcast, my name is Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid. This is Mr. Everything, Jeff Iafredi, and let's get the drum roll going. Hey, yo, shout out to the legend, Detroit News, Rod Beard. Thank you. Ah, man, I'm looking forward to the future. Definitely am. So next time, y'all.
All right, fellas.
All right, Rod.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Was I seeing you?
Good
I'll see you.
seeing
What? I'll see you. What, Friday?
Yeah, let's go Friday.